Welcome back to the John Linetia Show.
So, Linetia, you big college basketball fan?
I'm college
Yeah.
sports. I love college.
You a big fan of our city spending taxpayers' money on
I don't
college
know.
basketball arenas?
I don't know about this one.
So
I don't know.
So yeah, I mean, the thing and it's weird. I mean, the DePaul Blue Demons for like 20 years have been playing their basketball games at the Rosemont Horizon, which became the All-State Arena. And of course, their campus is downtown, and this is in the far northwest side. Mm-hmm. And so they finally decided they want a new arena, kind of an arena of their own would be nice, mm-hmm. Or an arena in which it would be kind of like just them. Mm-hmm. Apparently, the Reinsdorf and Wirtz offered them to be attended at the United Center.
Okay.
And that would seem to be, I would think, the perfect place, mm-hmm. Because it's a big enough arena, because it's maybe not downtown, near West Side, and because it's already set up for basketball too. You got the Bulls,
right?
So they offered that, and DePaul was like, "Well, we want to see if there's anything closer to our campus." Okay. Which was kind of like a little BS, because ultimately it looks like
they just want their own stuff. Yeah,
I think so. And the Mayor Emanuel has proposed essentially an expansion of the McCormick Place Convention Center, as well as kind of a upgrade remodel of Navy Pier. Mm-hmm. Under the umbrella kind of attracting more visitors from out of town, whether they be tourists or conventioneers. Mm-hmm. And as part of that is an arena
for DePaul
mm-hmm. to play their 18 home games a year, mm-hmm. at least the men,
and women. It's men and women basketball.
But
mm-hmm.
the women, I think, are the women too.
Yeah, it's men and women. I think they said 27 games.
All right. So either way, the thing that's nuts is, he says this in the same week, that we're still debating about how he wants to close 53 public schools to save money. Correct. And how he wants to cut back on pensions of public employee retirees to save money. Right.
He has a low approval rating.
Well, he's got a low approval rating, but, also went through a whole thing where he still confirmed we're screwed when it comes to the parking meter deal.
Which he proposed something else the other day.
And so on top of all this, what he says is no public money is going to be used, except for $100 million in basically public tax increment financing
support.
Funds.
Yes.
The TIF funds are just a slush fund that Mayor Daley created. A lot of aldermen still don't understand them. Mm-hmm. And essentially it diverts tax money that would go to what? Schools and pensions mm-hmm. and all these things that are, short of money. It mm-hmm. diverts that money and puts it in this fund that is kind of like, we can use this to build other mm-hmm. things.
This is a $165 million facelift for Navy Pier under this new arena.
It's part of a big bill that they're proposing, the state of Illinois, paying for some of it.
He claims that the Children's Museum is going to be expanded, but he's going to pay for that with bonds. Yeah. Good luck with that one.
The thing is that, it's still amazing. You look at it and you go, you and I, when we can't pay our bills, mm-hmm. when money is tight, we don't go around and start going, I'm going to make a big old purchase.
No, we don't.
Yet it seems it's incredible. The city seems to they want to spend money like crazy, even though we don't have it.
He said he's trying to move the city forward. He's trying to, leave all this other stuff in the past and try to start a new beginning for Chicago.
But, I don't know that you can actually build your way out of things. Especially when, let's face it, when it comes to crime in the city and handgun violence especially, in a lot of cases it's because people who weren't properly educated. Mm-hmm. And now what he wants to do is he wants to consolidate schools so that there's higher numbers of students in each classroom. And it's crazy, Oh, you just want to build stuff. And the DePaul does not need a subsidy. Getting
Right, that's
really
what they
tired
said.
about giving big businesses or private educational institutions money for this.
Yeah. Well, they claim they want to put this place, this arena, where it is because they were really looking for some place that didn't raise tuition costs. That's what they're saying. They didn't want to raise tuition costs. I don't know. Everyone keep hearing stories about Illinois being poor, Chicago being in debt. Well, I don't understand where all this extra money is coming from you have now. But he tries to mask it and say, well, there's going to be 10,000 jobs created and 3,700 permanent jobs.
Well, that's a load of crap.
And he also did this on the second anniversary of his inauguration.
Well,
which people probably forgot about.
And it's the other thing too, because what we're also finding out is that almost all of the figures that his people at the Chicago Public Schools came up with about all the cost savings and things like that for consolidating the schools, what we're starting to find out is pretty much all of them were lies, that they were all off. So how do you believe him when he says this? How do you believe him when he says it's going to create this many jobs, it's going to bring this much money? In the end, you don't. Sorry, there's no credibility there.
Yeah, I just still want to know where this money is coming from. I mean, he also said that, they're going to build, some hotels on McCormick Place. There's going to be some private investors. Who are these people? Could you who are these people? You got all this extra money to build another hotel or two in McCormick Place? Yeah.
And you know that he's going to lure them to build a hotel. We'll give you a tax break. Stop giving tax breaks.
I don't know. I understand that you want to move the city forward and, make things look really good for Chicago and attract people to the city. I understand all that. That's perfect. But wouldn't it be better to pay off some bills first and try to get us out of debt first?
Yes, it would.
And then move on to these things that look good, And I really do want you to create more jobs. I appreciate that. I know you want more people to come here, and spend their money. I understand all of that.
Yep.
But this is a lot of money that we're talking about that is supposed to be taxpayer money.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I mean, I was trying to look positive.
I know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think it's scummy. I think no, you should not be doing this. And we got to stop.
This is in the millions of dollars.
These TIF funds. We've got to stop diverting tax dollars away from the things that need it, like the schools. Also,
the residents where that DePaul arena is supposed to be built, residents on that area, on that block, are not happy because they're like, okay, well, this means that we're going to have more people in our area.
Yeah.
And half of the year or 3/4 of the year, this building is going to not even have people here. Right. I mean, so it's no one's going to use it.
He seems to think that we can get small conventions to go there. And then someone was also saying, well, what about concerts? But
a lot of people don't want to come and do their conventions here because it's expensive.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So, I mean, how do you balance it?
Yeah, it's...
Where's all this money coming from?
It's coming out of our pockets. We're the taxpayers, and we're getting the shaft.
I just hope everything works out. I mean, really.
Well, I hope everything works out all the time, but ultimately it's just hard not to think that Manuel is screwing us again.
You think he's getting back in office when he runs?
Probably won't have anybody competent running against him.
I don't know.
Unless Tony Preckwinkle wants to run against him.
I don't know about that one. I think she's pretty happy where she is.
Yeah, well.
And people like her.
I guess.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the John Linetia Show.